matter. Marisol, I am very sorry. I thought it was you.
Well, it wasn't me. I thought it was you.
But then, when I had lunch with Guerdy, a couple of days later, Guerdy was like, well, I was the one that said it.
Gertie?
Yeah.
Somebody from the group told Lisa what everything Larsa said that night. Who did?
I did.
It doesn't really.
Everybody, just calm down.
Girl, just calm down.
Hello, happy Friday, Thursday, Friday.
Thursday.
Girl, what is the day? Is it Thursday or Friday? My time
It's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday.
All I
Thank
know is I'm
God.
off tomorrow, and that's all that matters.
Look, hello.
And
Hello.
I just within the last hour secured my Beyonce tickets for tomorrow.
Okay.
So you know I was going to ask you about that because I know you said you wanted to go.
Yeah,
But I think, how much did you pay?
$250.
Okay, that was cute.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
I paid for my Beyonce tickets last week. Was it last week, Danielle?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah. $230.
That was bad.
Bitch.
None of my Beyonce tickets have ever been less than $400. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
Bitch, when you in the stadium, it's like, I'm sure someone's not going to go.
And I'm not a floor seat person. Like, I never have any desire to get on the floor. So,
no. I don't do mosh pit, sweetie.
Especially for Beyonce, because I feel like for Beyonce, you have to see the entire stage.
Oh, yeah, I need to see. I need to see production. Now, that's when production comes in to Kiki. I need to see.
I want to go in the tunnel through her vagina, all that.
Hello?
But hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to Everybody Just Calm Down, the holiday Beyonce edition. I'm Jared.
I'm Poe Theory.
And I'm Danielle.
Hi.
Hey, y'all. What's tea?
How you doing?
Good. I would say, happy pre-4th of July, but we don't acknowledge that holiday.
We'll celebrate that.
Happy pre-Beyonce day here in the DMV.
Exactly. Exactly. Happy my ancestors built this country.
Mm-hmm.
Happy day after birthday for my twin cousin. Because his birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday.
Anybody but America.
Happy birthday, twin cousin.
Happy birthday, cousin.
Wait, is that 8 Ball?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Buki. Is that the way you're supposed to say? It's cute.
Where have you been? Nobody. All right, Shamia.
All right, Shamia.
So let's get started. Let's jump into the episode. So we are here to We're here to recap season 7, episode 4 of The Real Housewives of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And we started the show, and literally 0.5 seconds into the show, Julia's already pissing me off.
Oh, God.
So we start with a little montage of Julia singing opera and having a white woman break down of her own actions, as well as Guerdy spreading the word to everybody with what happened between her and Julia at Marisol's celebration. Julia, like I said, yes, Julia was already pissing me off because why are you crying like you're the victim?
No, let's take it a step further. Why are you singing opera? You can't sing. Stop.
Like
Let's stop. Let's start there. The opera is first. You crying over something that you did is secondary.
And then also to to take it even a little step further, when people say I can't believe I allowed her to get me there, you're speaking as if even with that sentiment, there's an undertone there to say that Guerdy is not worth your time. And so I can't believe that Guerdy got me out of my character. Guerdy didn't do anything. Guerdy sat in her seat, spoke her speech, and you couldn't be in control of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on you, sweets.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I would have told me, because you already know how I feel about these Miami girls.
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all ain't tell me that bitch was Russian? You know how racist Russians are?
Yeah.
The thing is,
we doubling up.
The thing is, Aaron, which is so crazy about it. It would be crazier if you have seen. Julia was never like this. Like, she's literally done a 180 this season.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure is gonna get her fired. But she was like the total, like the sweetest lady. Just like she was like a fan favorite. So Yeah, it's
You know what?
crazy.
I never got, and to go off of you,
Mm.
Jared, because you and I have been following for quite some time, even when she came on the show,
Hmm.
we thought that she was maybe had this little nice facade for just the first or second season, but it's actually kept going. So when she flipped, and Gertie had been one of her closest allies too.
Right.
So that was another thing. Had it been any of the other women, I may have not been as shocked, but because it was Gertie, because of the friendship that they have, I think that's why this is really concerning how all of this was handled. And she really did do a 180. I never, out of all of the women that I could pull the card on racism on, I wouldn't have had Julia down for that. I promise you.
Mm-mm.
Now the wife, 100%. I never played with Martina like that. I never did. She always just rubbed me the wrong way with all her just, I don't like her scowls. So she's always rubbed me the wrong way. But Julia, I don't have her down for that. She definitely did a 180.
I will say, even just outside looking in, I kind of do agree with both of you guys, because just the little clips that you would see,
Mm-hmm.
I did get a Cynthia Bailey. I got a Eileen
Yeah.
from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills vibe from her. Like, I'm there, I'm participating, but I'm not like one of the messy girls.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of did throw me that I agree with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's definitely orchestrating her own downfall this season so
Oh,
far.
100%. Yeah, not good look for her.
Right.
Character development, not good.
So, staying on the Gertie and Julia train, we then go to a double scene, one between Gertie and Russell discussing what happened, and second between Martina and Julia discussing what happens. So we'll start with Gertie and Russell. Gertie is setting up for her son's party and then talking to Russell about what happened. Russell is not feeling it. He's not feeling the big woman standing over his wife. And he mentions exactly what I was thinking, that he was disappointed that none of the other ladies stepped in.
I would love to say, so one of my biggest, if I were to date outside of my race, one of my biggest fears is, it's one of the things that always triggers me is when someone doesn't have my back. And I think inherently when you are dating someone that is outside of your race and you're Black, there's a lot of things that you have to explain.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he handled that the way he handled it, I said, well, maybe I need to find me a Russell. Maybe I need a girdle. I need a girdle.
I need a girdle.
I need a girdle, because he was like, the way he did it, he was like this big woman towering over you and everything you're going through. I said, you better make your wife the dainty one.
Right.
I enjoyed that.
But you know what though, to Russell's and to give Russell more grace, he's always been like that. And remember, the backstory on them is that they've been together since kids. This is not his first run-in with somebody being nasty to his wife.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was thinking too, Danielle. And I'm curious to know what the demographic of their high school was, and like the kind of situations like this before. And then Gertie literally says that's how she felt in the situation, that she felt degraded and she felt like she was in high school again.
But so you see, but that's what put me to that point. So, and again, you have to think about it. In South Florida in the early 80s, late 90s, that could have been nasty. That was nasty. And Russell is giving purebred white man.
I know.
And Gertie is a Haitian.
Florida is nasty now, the damn 20s.
So you see what I'm saying? Imagine that in early 90s. So imagine where there wasn't any footage of somebody filming how she was getting embarrassed in school.
And then on top of that, let's not forget cocaine. It was worse.
Was and is a hell of a drug. Exactly. Right. So you see?
Ain't that right, Jody? I'm just kidding.
How was his eyes?
His eyes. That is why she fell in love with him. It is not because he's on drugs. He's like a Furby. Come on, guys.
We'll get there. So we go to Julia and Martina. Julia mentions that she needs to apologize to Marisol. My first thought is that, well, you need to apologize to Marisol, but not Gertie. But then we find out later she did send a text. Whatever.
First of all, can I just say, one of my biggest pet peeves in life is someone sending me a goddamn paragraph. Don't send me no fucking paragraph. I'm never reading it. That's number one. I'm not reading that. As soon as I see that come down, absolutely not. Because it's some bullshit. And number two, the way she was reading the text messages as if she was building an army for herself. You reading this text message because you want them to see like, yes, see, I apologize. Like, and no. Gives a fuck. I don't care if you did a saga. You can say apologize. I'll never have to accept it. And you should be sorry.
Yeah, I agree. It's like it's similar to like when I had a situation very similar to that happened a couple months ago, and the person that I'm very close with kept saying, "I'm gonna get them to apologize. I'm gonna get them to apologize." I said, "No, I'm okay. No, they really want no.
It's
I
fine.
don't need the apology because people think when you apologize
It's over.
that everything's supposed to be done, and I'm not there yet. So tell them to keep it." And I agree with Gertie. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
One of the 7,253 things that Julia pissed me off with happened in this scene when she mentioned that Gertie couldn't control herself. And all I could think about, I was like, lady, you were the one chasing her around the room, putting your finger in her face, jumping up out your goddamn seat, and then ultimately throwing water, but Gertie can't control herself. Like, where do you live, bitch?
For you to even say that though shows the type of delusion that you have because you're sick. That's a mental illness. The fact that you're saying that you're now putting the sole blame on her. You said that you apologized, but also I only did the water because I mean, look at it. She was acting out of control. I had no choice.
can we all give a shout out to Marisol, because I had a lot of smoke for Marisol until in this scene where she says to her, "Is this the scene or no? Am I jumping ahead? I'm jumping ahead. Am I
No, I
jumping
think it
ahead?"
was part of this scene because they did one
Yeah,
of those.
in this,
They
yeah.
cut to like one of the unaired scenes where they were talking to Marisol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's a
Yes.
part of this.
can I?
Yeah.
Oh, so when Marisol held her accountable
Mm-hmm.
and basically was like, "Yeah, like the water, that was a lot." Like Julia thought that she could have that same type of conversation that she's having with Martina, where Martina's kind of just letting it slide. But
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Marisol was like hammering, like, "No, that was unacceptable. Like, I did not like
Yeah.
that you did that.
Oh.
Like, you ratcheted it up." She didn't. Marisol. What I liked about Marisol didn't say y'all
Mm-hmm.
or
You
we all. She said, "No, you
held her accountable.
ratcheted it up."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Thank you, Marisol. I appreciated
Mm-hmm.
that."
Mm-hmm.
And she still had on the patch,
Listen.
which I enjoyed.
And was doing a cock. Everywhere they know my cock.
So then we move on to Larsa and a housewife that can actually afford a jet, Britt Edie. We get introduced to a new housewife, Stephanie. We get introduced to
Gorgeous
Stephanie,
dad.
the new housewife. We find out right away that Stephanie is apparently very rich. She owns a jet. She flew to
Loaded.
Orlando to pick up her dogs. Initial thoughts on Stephanie as the new housewife?
Obsessed with her.
Um, uh, big fan. But a bigger fan of her husband. I'm very
Really?
curious to know. Yeah, bigger fan of her husband. Her husband's birthday is August 3rd. I'm August 2nd.
Mm,
That's one. He
okay.
is
Okay.
also, just speaking from I guess like a political standpoint, I'm very curious because we all know that Miami is a place that has a huge, it's like number two to New York when it comes to the Jewish population.
Mm-hmm.
He's Iranian, her husband. So I'm
Okay.
very curious how this is going to, because he's literally from Tehran. So that I'm just
Mm-hmm.
very curious of his politics, and for him to have that much wealth in a very in a area that is strongly Jewish,
Mm-hmm.
and then him being Iranian, I'm just very curious to know. I can't wait to
Interesting.
dive deep more into who they are, and then especially her being Colombian. That is
Mm-hmm.
just I'm very intrigued. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
excited
no.
about them.
No, I'm very
Very
excited
excited.
about them. No, I feel the same way. I didn't dive too deep into the husband. He actually looks really good for his age though. In that picture they showed of them yachting, he looks really good for his age. So I can see how you fell for an older gentleman, but when I say older, I mean seasoned and look like that. He looks
Yeah.
good. He does look good. No, seriously.
I didn't realize when they were first showing them and talking about him, I didn't even realize their age difference was that much until she actually said it.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. So I was like, you know what? Older, I love it. I enjoy her because I think the Housewives is missing that little bit of charm that we have the girls who are super wealthy and that have the world at their oysters. And that was the base of Housewives, right? You
Mm-hmm.
being a housewife to someone who is super wealthy and enjoying that lifestyle. And I think she brings that aspect to Housewives back. Like she has the package. The only thing she doesn't have is the kids, but she got the dogs and the jet. So who cares? So I'm very curious, and I think I loved her even more towards the end of the episode because she's one of those girls that's like, yeah, this is like this is weird to me. She's gonna say this doesn't seem right, and I like that about it because she's neutral. She doesn't care about any of these women yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm obsessed.
I'm on the fence about her. She definitely seems interesting, and I can see that. I just feel like she's gonna do good, but initially, I feel like she just makes comments, especially in her confessionals. Like I feel like she's looking for sound bites instead of just speaking normally. So I'm just kind of waiting to see how it plays out. But I mean, I'm gonna give her some grace. She's brand new, so you know.
Remember all the Housewives when they were new. Remember every Housewives first season and how different they are from today. If they made it, if they lasted.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give her grace. Yeah. I didn't have any negative thoughts. I was just like, we'll see.
Okay.
I would say for her, one of the things that I picked up on with her that I really appreciated, her showing or debuting her wealth and showcasing her wealth. It did not give me, oh, I'm just so wealthy. It gave me like a Lisa Vanderpump, like this is just the life I live, darling. I'm just fabulous, and I appreciated that. It didn't feel gauche. It just felt like this is just my existence.
We gonna get there, but she made some comments at the baby shower.
She does.
That came off a little ghost to me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, a little, and I know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm only speaking about the scene up until the scene with Larsa.
Yeah, I don't want to jump ahead.
Yeah, that's fair.
What did you say? Put a pin in that, or whatever you say when you want to come back to something.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah. So anyway, we move on to Lisa and Marisol meeting up, and then Alexia joins them. And they're basically just catching up, talking about what happened at Marisol's party, yada, yada, yada. And then they fill her in on what Larsa was saying about Jody and his eyes, which, of course, sets Lisa off.
What's wrong with his eyes? And you know who started that? And you know who started that? When Larsa was telling the story and they did that flashback. Julia. Well, how big was his eyes?
Episode. No, remember, say the eyes. Say the eyes, Larsa. Say the eyes, Larsa. Bring it up, Larsa. Like, girl, we get it.
Yeah, nasty. This whole conversation was a joke to me.
Mm-hmm. And then Larsa, which I feel like was so set up, calls whoever the guy was that was working with them at the show, and basically gets him to recap the whole thing over FaceTime, saying that Jody was acting wild.
I'm so happy that you picked up on that because it was literally like she sent him a text message, hey, we're going to call you.
Mm-hmm.
I just need you to repeat everything that happened and don't forget to don't leave this part out. Like that literally, that's
specifically.
What that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was extra in Milan though, too. So let's be real.
He was, yeah. Child, another Marcus.
He was extra there. Exactly.
So anyway, after that, we check in with Kiki, who's picking up her father from the airport, and again, looking to reconnect. Now, this was another one that I feel like looked great for his age. I don't know how old he was, but he didn't like he was old enough to get
right out my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
How old is Kiki? That's why I wouldn't ask y'all how old is Kiki because her father looked phenomenal.
Yeah,
like,
she gotta be. She can't be no younger. She can't be no younger than 40.
Yeah.
We gotta find out.
But that's why. Yeah, exactly. But that's why he got a 3-year-old.
Bitch, Kiki, no girl.
How old is she?
Kiki 36. Of course, that's why her daddy looked like that.
Now, you know what's crazy, Kiki? Not for nothing. Not for nothing. Kiki, no shade. I thought you was a good looking 40. No shade.
Because Kiki looked very young in the car. When I realized that was her daddy, I started focusing more on Kiki, and I'm like, Kiki, you kind of do look very young right here.
I guess, I don't know, maybe.
I just assume because it's rare that we have housewives in their 30s, and at this point, Kiki has been on 4 years. So I would just assume.
Yes.
Like even if she came on in her 30s, I assumed at this point she was in her 40s. But yeah, not that she looks it
And
at
the fact
all.
that
I was just assuming.
no, but you know what's another thing too? We found out that she has a child in college. So when you hear child in college and 36, that don't really add up either.
Let me
True.
take that back, bitch. Let me take that back. Not only is she not okay, sorry, she's not 30. She is wait,
What's
that
the
can't be
given?
right. No, she is 36. I apologize.
Okay.
Okay.
She was born June 17th, 1989. I was born August
Oh.
2nd, 1989.
Oh
That
yeah.
girl is literally what, a
We
month
were
or
in high
some
school
change
with
older
her.
than me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
were
we were in high
literally
school
in
with
high
her.
school with
We were in high school
Kiki.
with her. Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, where's your college child,
Mm.
Erin?
Ooh.
Child. Where's my what? My kids?
Your
Your
college
college
child.
child.
Oh yeah.
Don't fucking bring up my children, bitch.
We're
How
Mm.
dare you?
not gonna bring up the
So that means
kids.
she
We
was
don't bring up
16.
children.
We
We
don't
don't
bring
do
up
that.
children.
I didn't raise my children to steal.
So then we move on to Larsa, Marisol, and Julia meeting up for what looked like a dinner or happy hour. I don't know. They were at a bar. And then Larsa brings Stephanie to introduce her to the group. Alexia is supposed to show up and then doesn't show up, and they assume she's with Todd. She said she wasn't.
She was laid up with him. She was laid up with him. I don't give a damn. I wanna see I want to see footage from your apartment because I know you have cameras in your house. Everybody has cameras in their house. I want to see you walking around with the cold towel on your head because you had the migraine. I don't believe for a second that you wasn't laying up with Todd. Because even when she was in her confession, she was like, I wasn't with Todd. I was with Todd. Girl, you're lying. Just because you blink a lot, you're lying.
Every single time that this woman says Todd, or anyone says Todd, I think of when Nene said, and who is Todd? I can't get it out my brain. Who is Todd? Like,
Mhm.
child.
With all his
I
schemes.
I do have a well, never mind. Go ahead. We haven't got to the point where the new girl shows up.
Yes,
Mm.
we did. You talking about to the dinner?
Yeah.
I mean, to the dinner?
Instead of,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you haven't said that she walked in yet.
I
You said
said
all the
that.
girls walked in.
I said Larsa introduced her to the
Miss
group.
Mamas.
Oh, my bad, girl. My bad. Sorry. I want to be the first to say it. Or everybody just calm down. I want y'all to remember Aaron said this.
What you say?
Larsa does not want that girl to be friends with any of them girls.
Oh,
So let me say why. I have two reasons. The
okay.
first reason, the girl Larsa is her entry point,
Mm-hmm.
but that girl, what's her name? I'm sorry, I keep calling her that girl.
Stephanie.
Stephanie. Stephanie is a very smart woman. Stephanie is
Mm-hmm.
very business oriented. When Stephanie was trying to tell Larsa everything that she had going on business wise on the plane, I could see on Stephanie's face as she's saying it, and Larsa keeps giving these little like, "Oh my god, I love it. Yeah, oh my god, that's so a lot. I love it." Stephanie's guy is not getting fulfilled with that level of conversation. Stephanie doesn't give me I am married to an older man that has a lot of money and I just spent his money. Stephanie gives me I'm a part of this business.
Oh,
And
is.
I'm paying attention to how Marisol is interacting with her in this scene. And if you pay attention to Larsa's face, Larsa is over it. Larsa's like, oh wow, she's really engaging with these girls.
Right.
And she's supposed to be mine. I see Larsa having an issue, not wanting that girl to be cool with the rest of the girls.
No,
When she's
I can see
actually
that.
going to end up being cooler because that girl Stephanie is probably going to be close with the girls that have jobs, like real jobs and businesses.
Hello.
You heard it here first.
I did also
I
appreciate
ain't
how
mad at
engaged
that.
Stephanie was with them and just like mentioning Julia's
Mm-hmm.
kids to her, talking about the farm. Like, it's like she knew things about them and then
Mm-hmm.
she actually wanted to talk about their lives with
Yes.
them. I thought that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But this was
That's
the
a
first
pin.
scene.
That's another pin.
Okay, we're gonna pin that. This was the first scene where she said something where she, to me, acted a little ghost because she was acting all crazy about that Birkin being away from her.
Yeah.
See,
That was the
okay,
first.
so
That was the
you took
first
it.
time. That was the first time.
See, you
It's the
took
second
it.
time she did
You
the baby
took it
shower.
as ghost. You took that as ghost. I took that as appreciation.
What's the difference?
There's a certain level, like when you hit that level of wealth. To me, it felt like she appreciates the money that she spends. Like yes, I'm very wealthy, but let's be very clear. This is a $230,000 bag. You just can't put this anywhere. And I feel like there are some people that could come into the scene and be like, "Oh, girl, you can just do whatever with it." If this bitch phone died, did her phone die?
Oh,
No, I don't know what the fuck happened. It just said you couldn't connect to the studio. I was like, what the hell?
no.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was weird.
But no, she gave me, like, even her doing that. I didn't get ghost from that. What I got was just more so like a respect for her luxury items.
Okay.
Like, I appreciate my items, and you can't just put it anywhere, because that's a house that she's carrying right now.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess. I mean, we don't have, none of us on this call have a house or a bag, so
Hello?
I guess
Neither.
not yet. Not yet.
Right. So then we move on to the baby shower that Adriana is throwing for Julia. My first thought was that I wish they all just would have worn blue. The girls in not blue were throwing me off. And I feel like the girls in blue look really cute. So we're at the baby shower. I thought it was wild. Stephanie immediately goes up to Alexia and gives her unsolicited opinion about Alexia and Todd.
So that's the pin.
Mm-hmm.
That's the pin I have.
Okay.
In the same way that she said that she loved that she's so engaged, I think that may have been a component of that. It's just a deeper situation where we're like, damn, girl, whoa, I don't even know you like that.
Right.
But the very same thing that you love about her being so engaged, that is a proponent of that. We just don't like it in that moment. But prior to that, we were enjoying it.
I thought it was crazy, but
Okay.
I honestly couldn't even be mad at it because that's some shit I would do if I was drunk. So, okay.
This is fair. I'm not mad.
We also got confirmation that the boys are black.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I did see that. Now, I was a little shocked.
So the baby shower continues. Alexia and Adriana have this whole bridesmaid moment on the microphone, which was interesting. And then Lisa gets drunk and starts talking to Stephanie about how she doesn't want to be friends with her because she's rich.
Now, this was one of this. So, but you know why it was funny? Because this was one of Lisa's dumb moments. We forgot that Lisa is the da-da of the show. Let's be real. You know what I mean? She's always been one step from an airhead. So the thing about it is, it was funny because it was Lisa. Anybody else that would have said it, it would have came off as like, ooh, nasty. But because it was Lisa, it actually landed. It was fine. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Stephanie ain't gonna be cool with that lady though. We already know that.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Nah. Time will tell. So then we get into the discussion at Marisol's wedding celebration, and who said what about Jody, yada yada yada. Larsa the lunatic, the way that she tried to deflect about what she said versus who told Lisa was so insane to me.
So that was I want to say that was the major part of this of the ending scene for this episode to me was, why are we asking who told Lisa about what happened? Why does that even matter? It doesn't even matter. All of us were actually there present. So it could have been anyone at the baby shower and beyond.
You go through your man's phone, you find out he cheating, but he responds to you, but why you go through my phone though? That's what just happened there. Like,
yes.
That's just what's happened. We're gonna shift it from you cheat on me to me invading your privacy, which is still wrong. But you did cheat on me, sir. So let's focus on what we're talking about. It was artful. It was very artful. I was here for it.
But I was so glad Alexia clocked it and checked her about it. And Alexia said, no, it doesn't matter who told her. You said it. Anyway, to wrap the scene up, Lisa starts to break down, basically saying that she doesn't understand why this is even a discussion, when she just buried her father, which I agree. Larsa continues to take no accountability in the fact that she even had the conversation in the first place. And then Kiki throws Gertie under the bus and lets everybody know that Gertie was the one that told Lisa, which again, I don't see anything wrong with Gertie telling Lisa. I don't even understand why this was a topic of discussion.
Why? I want to know why Kiki felt the need that she had to say that though.
Why Kiki got to feel the need to be so anti-black? What's happening here?
Yeah, and you thought I was anti-black.
Yeah.
I didn't think that. That was the other girl. The
That was
commenter that thought that. I ain't think that.
I think Kiki and Julia are kind of under the same situation right now. They want to be in with the quote unquote cool girls, which is Alexia, Larsa, and Marisol. And I just feel like they're just kind of like playing into what that group does.
But there's nothing cool about them. Like,
right.
I can see like Alexia is cool. There's nothing cool about Larsa. When you maybe because I just a little bit of background. I can't stand the Kardashians and the Jenners. So I don't view them like, especially when you know everything that how they created their wealth is all on the backs of black people in terms of how they have, you know, their aesthetics and stuff like that. So when I understand that you're not the originator, you're just a copy. And then not only that, Larsa, you're not even that, but you're like a Mr. Me Too. And you got kicked out of that. You got kicked out of that crew. So how could Larsa ever be a cool girl? That's weird to me. Scotty, like Pippen wasn't even. Pippen was like number 5. He wasn't even fucking relevant, my guy. Like, let's be real. Like, who the fuck is Larsa Pippen in this world? Who is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Okay, Yolanda.
Bigger than fucking Larsa Pippen, I tell you that much.
Okay, so to add
shout
some
out
context,
to the Hadids.
Right. To add some context, in regards to the show, so. When the reboot came back, season 4, it was like half OGs and then half new girls. So for a while, throughout that season and the next season, it was split up. So the OGs is Alexia, Larsa, Marisol, Adriana. So that's why they kind of like were seen as the cool girls, and then the new girls vibe together, which was Guerdy, Julia, and Dr. Nicole at the time. And Lisa and Adriana kind of bounced in between.
So money, stature, and vibes versus being OGs, because Dr. Cole was wealthy is like nobody's business, right?
Very wealthy. Her, the husband,
Yeah.
the husband that wasn't the husband. Did they ever get married?
I don't think they did because they had the baby instead.
They never got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got Gertie, who is gorgeous and got like a different, you know, like it's the vibes and stuff like that. I just don't see it for the other girls like that, but I hear you.
This is fair.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the crazy about Lisa was a part of that, but again, Lisa was always under Lenny, so she wouldn't even be in the same boat as them, because at least all of them they all have gone through their crazy divorces, but Lisa just could not get from under Lenny in this divorce. She went through it in this one. And all of these women actually have had a divorce play out on Housewives. Let us say that. But Lisa definitely had got it the worst.
Well, that's the episode, guys. Oh, what?
No, I was just saying the last little thing, but like, do you think that Lisa went a little like? Do you think she went crazy at the end, or was that justified?
Lisa is under a lot of emotional duress, and she was also drunk. So I think she was a little crazy, but I think it was justified.
Okay, that's fair.
Everybody just calm down.
Girl, just calm down.
I'm going to go with Larsa because this whole thing about blaming on who said it versus who done it was just a crazy deflection to me. I mean, it was a great housewife move, so I respect her for that, but she just like, this lady has never taken an ounce of accountability for anything she's ever done. So Larsa, you need to calm down.
That's fair. For me, it's going to be Kiki. I didn't like you calling Guerdy out, because again, at the end of the day, the women would have eventually, because Guerdy had no problem with saying it was me who said it because it happened to her. The women would have found out it was Guerdy. I didn't think you needed to put the battery in the back and announce her name. I think that was corny. So you need to calm down.
For me, I would say that it would be Kiki as well, because I feel like Kiki is operating from the viewpoint of like there can only be one. and
Mm.
that's not the world we live in. And I'm just not a fan of that. Like, if I'm in a room full of people of that aren't people of color, and there's one other black person in the room, even if you are not my type of black, I'm gonna figure out a way for us to connect, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be on my side faster and understand, because you've experienced some of the same things that I've experienced.
Right.
And I kind of feel like Kiki is operating from a place of wanting to be the only,
This could be fair.
from the way that she's moving, and I'm not a fan of that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even if it was Guerdy, like yeah, exactly how Daniel just said it. Okay, like Gertie didn't have an issue with saying that was the case. I didn't even feel like it needed. I didn't even think it was a secret that Gertie
Right.
ran back and said whatever. So what? You had a table full of people with a camera right there. Do you think it's a big deal that Gertie said that? Like, get out of here.
Agreed. Agreed.
Good
Agreed.
point.
Let the
Okay.
church say amen.
Amen. Well, everybody, that wraps this episode. Thank you, as always, for watching. And of course, thank you in advance for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Until next time, peace.
Bye, guys.